Yeah, just a great day of baseball for us here. I mean, that's a really, really good team over there. I mean, that offense is scary. They grind out at bats. There's some power arms on the mound. Just really proud of our kids. You know, we got bloodied up pretty good in game one the other day, and like I knew they would, they responded and got a lead. And man, Braylon Myers was outstanding in game one, coming in and getting a big out with a runner at third and holding that game. And then Oz runs 2 out for us. And I told our guys, man, I said, and he wasn't out there for this, but just what he did today is not normal. You know, like a lot of guys aren't willing to do that. I didn't quite know if we were going to have him available for game 2 until I saw him get up on the mound and get ripping pitches. So just really selfless, just sums up who Carson Osmer is as a human, you know, and really happy for our seniors. You always want to send them out of here in the regular season on senior day with a win. And just some guys had great, man, Cade Snell just continues to be dangerous. Bronny had some big swings for us, just really good ones up and down the lineup, and did enough to win against a really good team. So really happy about that. Now we get rested up and head to probably the hottest team in the country in Gainesville this weekend. So we got to get ready to rock and go finish the regular season off right.
Carson, I know you're probably not thinking about this stuff when you're out there, but you are now the leader in saves in Division I. You now have the undisputed single-season record in saves here for this program. Take us through what that means to you, especially just to do it on senior day and this day of celebration with all your teammates.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, as I said a couple weeks ago, that's what I came here to do. I came here to be in those spots, get our team a win in that situation. It was just special being on Mother's Day today. My mom was up in the stand. She's happiest one out there, and having a bunch of fans or family from Oklahoma and Texas too being there. So it was just a special day.
Mentality-wise, tough finish last week. How do you flush that and be in the right mindset for a game like that?
Yeah, you know, I've had my fair share of tough outings. So it's just, you know, learning to flip the switch and move on. You know, soak in it for about an hour, and then just forget about it and move on. Look to the next game.
Coach, you talked about starters giving your team a chance to win, and Zayn Adams, when you needed him throughout the past 2 years, whether you get back to Arkansas last year, Tennessee earlier this season, has really been there, and he had a really solid outing today. Just kind of speak on him and his ability to go out there and just give you all a chance to win.
I've been proud of Zayn all year, man. Like, that guy took a punch and got back up off the mat. You know, and there's no secret. He had 2 or 3 pretty tough outings there early, and man, since then he's just continued to get better. And some guys can't pull themselves back up when they get knocked down. And I'm telling you, like, for Zayn 10 years down the road when he's in pro ball and in the big leagues pitching, like, those experiences are going to help him be who he is, you know. So we felt good with Zayn running out there, and I thought he has a really good mix today, threw a ton of strikes. You got to credit Georgia a little bit for spoiling a million pitches. Now, Zayner still got his punch-outs, but they made him work for it. I mean, there was no easy strikeouts there. Because of that, you know, the pitch count got a little elevated, but fortunately in a 7-inning game, you're kind of okay with that. So he just competed his tail off. Really probably should have got out third, only giving up 1 instead of 2, but just continued to execute pitch when we needed him. And man, we're glad he's here, and I'm really proud of that kid.
Hey, Rob, I'm working on a story about Justin. I'm curious from your perspective, from day 1 of this year to, I guess, now heading into your final series, what is the biggest point of growth that you've seen from him, just generally?
I think in general, I mean, we saw a little bit of struggle for the first time. You know, he didn't struggle all year last year. I felt like he was just got nothing but hits the entire year, and you know, his first team all conference and all these accolades. And for the first time, you saw about a 3-week span where Jay kind of struggled a little bit, and that's baseball. And I think the beauty of this is, like, you see how guys respond to that. And I talked about that with Zayn. And now Bronny's struggle is probably a little different than mine. My struggle, I'd be hitting about 110. His struggle, he's hitting 310, you know. But I think that's growth, and that's what he's going to need to do. That guy, again, he's going to have a career in the big leagues. And there's the ebbs and flows. Oz said it, man. You're going to have your tough days. You're going to have your tough stretches. But, man, you got to keep showing up for your teammates. You got to keep competing for your teammates. And been proud of how he's navigated some of those things throughout the course of the year. And man, now's the time where he gets rolling like this. You saw some big swings this weekend, and that dude has the ability to carry your team when he gets rolling down the stretch here.
Carson, I know Coach made the comment last time you two were in here next to each other that you're never allowed to be down, but to come in and pitch back-to-back games on the same day. Walk us through what that process is with your arm and just how you're feeling in that situation physically.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that time of year where nobody on the team, I bet, is feeling 100%. So mentally, you got to, like, flip the switch to what's best for my team right now and what do I got to do to help my team win, especially down this last stretch going into postseason. So that's kind of what I was thinking when I was on there.
Coach Carson came in and had 2 saves today. What does that mean to the team to have a guy that you can throw in there at the end of any game and be 2 games in one day, and he's going to go out and perform and get it done?
Yeah, and the reality is he got it done today, and you saw it. Like, there's not a player in the country that's going to be perfect at all times, but I think what it speaks to his teammates and to us as coaches is just who Carson Osmer is as a human, which is reliable, is selfless, is going to show up and give you every ounce of what he got. And that's what's really cool. I thought Matty Heiberger did the same thing today. Matty didn't have his best stuff, especially late, and came out and just gave us everything he had until he ran out of gas, And I think that's the secret of this team. Like, it is not just, and I can be honest with these guys, it ain't first rounders 1 through 9. It's not 3 first round weekend starters. It's not that. But it's a group of dudes that care about each other. It's a group of dudes that compete really hard, that are tougher than all get out. And, man, I can ride with guys like that any day. And so, like I said, Oz coming out and doing that today just is shocking as it is. It's not, because that's just who he is as a human, and that bleeds through into the way he competes on the mound. And we're just fortunate as heck he chose to come here last year.
Coach, as in any sport, in baseball, a lot can change in a short amount of time. Rain closes the curtains on Friday, and maybe you guys are on that outside part of the hosting bubble, and now you're firmly in the conversation with these 2 wins today. I mean, what does that speak to just how this group can kind of turn on a dime and deliver results, and also just what's the mindset going into this important last week of the regular season coming?
Yeah, I think the beauty is and I hope, like, our message to them is, let you guys talk about that. Let me answer some questions about that in here, but just go out and try to win baseball games. I mean, I think that's the reality of this is, this group's knocking on the door, winning 40 games in the regular season. That ain't easy to do. There's only a handful of teams in the country that have done that. They've rung the bell in the midweeks. They rang the bell out of conference. They've done those things. They've beat some really good teams. We've had some tough weekends too. There's no secret about it, where we just haven't finished or we haven't played great. But at the end of the day, that stuff will take care of itself. Like, I know that's the coach answer of, we don't think about it. I'm sure it's going through guys' head. I'm sure it is. But it's not helpful to anything. Like, I know we go out and have a good weekend this weekend. Everybody's going to be talking about it this week. And like how you've heard me say, there's a legend that spent a lot of time across the street that talked about what that is. And, that rat poison will do nothing to help us be ready to rock next Thursday at Gainesville. Because, like I said, that's probably the hottest team in the country right now in how they're playing. And it's at their place. And they've played themselves. And crazily, after a 1-11 start, those guys won 11 of their last 13. I don't know what they did today. But man, that's a really good baseball team on the road. Like, I can tell you, none of this group is going to be okay if we played really good for 9 weeks and then laid an egg week 10. Like, that's not what we do. We got to be finishers. We got to finish. We didn't finish good enough last year, and that's what I want this group to hang their hat on, is we're finishers. So we got to go finish it next weekend.
Couple more.
Coach, just this time of year, how important is it to show that type of resilience to bounce back from 19-3 loss in Game 1 and be able to bounce back and win the series like you did?
Yeah, I hate saying this, but I've gotten my butt kicked a lot in my career. Like, it's happened a lot. Even at Maryland when we were really good, man, there were some ugly losses in there. But, man, that's the mark of your team is how you respond. I tell these guys, that's a mark of a man, is how you get up off the mat, how you respond to hard things, because life's going to throw a lot of these guys. Throw baseball out the window. Life throws sickness and illness and loss and struggle at them all the time. And I think as humans and as men that hopefully lead our families one day, man, like, what determines your success or failure is how you respond to that. It ain't easy to be on top of the world when things are good. It's a lot harder when you get punched in the mouth and you get embarrassed at home to show up not even the next day, to show up 40 minutes later and respond the way they did. It's my favorite part about this group of young men. They're special kids. They're special players. It's a fun team to be around. And I told you guys this at the beginning. I think back in February, we tossed the key to Oz and the rest of these boys, and they're taking us on a ride at this point. So we're just trying not to screw it up.
Carson, I know you mentioned that we're at a point in the year where there's a lot of tread on the tires and a lot of guys, bodies just aren't the way they were in February. But is there an excitement level to what you did today and then getting to go play somebody that really nobody wants to see, but maybe is there an excitement level for you guys getting to be the ones to stand across from them in the last week of the season?
Oh, for sure, 100%. I mean, with every team we're going to play in this conference is going to be star-studded team. So we're definitely looking forward to it, and we're ready for the test.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, boys.
Big game at Kentucky. About 25
Oh,
minutes.
yeah?
Wyatt's